Hey, everybody. Welcome here to College Basketball Insider with Austin and Michael. I'm Austin. Obviously, he's Michael. We're here to kind of ease your mind as you wonder as baseball season's coming to an end and basketball season's fixing to fire up. So we're here to ease your mind and all the questions you might have.
Can't forget about football season coming to an end
Yeah, don't forget about football
and
season.
starting, coming to an end and starting.
High school football season's coming to an end. College football season's kind of right in the middle, and NFL's starting. So
Yeah,
um,
makes total sense.
all
That's
is
okay.
right in the world of college basketball. Maybe we're about to find out. Again, you've seen me a couple times. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but I'm gonna take a second. I'm just gonna let him introduce himself here.
Oh,
The
they
great
have
Michael Johnson.
definitely seen me. I've been on your channel a couple times, but that's okay. I'm just kind of the side man here. I got set up. I'm a Kentucky fan. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. I'm not gonna be biased. It's okay. I know we suck. It's okay. We'll get through this, and I think we should just get started here on conference predictions.
I think so too. Again, they know me. I'm a Michigan fan. I got some shade thrown at me about a year ago, whenever it was a couple weeks, 3 or 4 into the season. I made a pretty bold statement saying that Michigan was as good as Gonzaga and Baylor. I definitely still think they were as good as Gonzaga. I don't know about Baylor.
They were good teams. You could say in a sense they were, but there are so many. Those teams were they were they were split with each other and the rest of the league. So
Right. Well, guess what? That was last year. Let's move on to this year.
yeah,
The heartbreak is over. It's a new season. Um, so you said let's talk about some new or let's talk about the potential champions. Obviously, we don't know, but a lot of things can change. But just kind of the way that they're looking now. You want to start with the ACC? Who do you think? Who do you have there?
I got Coach K on his retire last year before retirement, taking Duke, all the way through conference play, no issues, no road bumps. I think they kind of swerve right through North Carolina. I think Duke has no issues in conference play.
I I agree. I mean, barring another Jalen Johnson situation, I mean Duke could go through conference play. Losing 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
They're heads above everybody else, really. And I've said too, with that extra chip on those boys' shoulders, wanting to give Coach K a good way out.
Yeah.
I've said on numerous occasions, and we'll kind of get back into this in a little bit. Duke winning a national title would not be a surprise to me. They've got the talent to
Yeah.
do it. They've got the leadership, the veterans, and they've got who might be the greatest coach of all time at the helm. And I don't think there's a whole lot of people that would argue that.
Yeah. People will definitely argue it. They just won't be right.
I mean, I'd love to be able to argue it, but
Wouldn't we all?
but we can't. He's pretty great at what he does. So, dude, it's a unanimous, right?
Yeah. 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 That's pretty much where everyone's going. If it's not Duke, it's North Carolina or Florida State. So
I agree. I don't even think I really think I think North Carolina is going to underperform this year. I think the
I
Roy
hope
Williams,
so.
huh?
I hope so.
I think the Roy Williams retirement kind of shocked them.
Oh yeah,
Maybe not that it was coming, but when it was coming.
that could
So
definitely come back to hurt them. Yeah.
uh, I think that I think that's definitely they're gonna that's gonna wear on them a little bit. So let's, if you don't mind, let's move to the SEC. We'll talk about your conference. We'll get to mine in a little bit. Is Kentucky winning it this year?
No, no,
No. Oh shoot.
it's not gonna be Kentucky. I actually got Tennessee and Rick Barnes finally getting some done. They have won their share of the regular season, but I think they finally win that regular season and the tournament. after so many years of Kentucky or Auburn knocking them out of the tournament.
You know, I like Tennessee. I like Rick Barnes. I think Rick Barnes is a great coach, but I got to go with Eric Musselman and the Hogs, the Razorbacks from Arkansas. They were so good last year. They pushed it all the way to the Elite Eight. They've got a lot coming back, aside from Moses Moody, who is a big
Yeah.
loss. They've had a really good summer on the recruiting trail. I just think that that's probably the best bet. I think there's 3 or 4 teams that could win it.
No, yeah, there's definitely multiple teams
I
that
mean,
could win it.
Alabama could win it.
It's just
Kentucky,
picking one of the
right?
4 or 5 that have the biggest chance.
Kentucky could win it, whether you believe that or not. I'll
I
tell you another
do,
team
but
who could win it. And guys, I live in Missouri. I'm not a Mizzou fan, but the right year, Mizzou could win it. They showed at times last year that they can play with some really good teams. I'll
yeah,
never forget. I
yeah, I
don't
can
think
see
sitting
it.
there stunned in that Illinois game last year. I was absolutely floored. Uh, with by that game. And I honestly, I went on my page and was like, Illinois wins this game by 25 plus points.
Oh
And I
yeah,
believe that was
they should have.
right. And then it wasn't even close. It was close, but it was the other way around.
Yeah.
All right. I threw you under the bus. I'll throw myself under the bus. The Big Ten.
Well, it's not much throwing
Who
you
you
under the
got?
bus. I have Michigan. I mean, Juwan Howard, I just can't. They're too good. The only other team in that conference I see having a chance is Ohio State. And I think you guys, just like Duke, you just kind of get straight through conference play, no issues.
I do have Michigan as well. But the team to me that is going to give us the run from their money is not Ohio State, it's Purdue.
Okay.
Purdue
I
brought
mean,
everybody back, and had a really good summer on the recruiting trail. Now, I still take Michigan. I think Hunter Dickinson is the Big Ten Player of the Year. If it's not Kofi Coburn, I think Juwan Howard might just be the Coach of the Year again. So that's my pick.
it'll
And
definitely be interesting.
they have a freshman in Caleb Houston that can flat shoot the lights out. One of the better shooters to ever come through the University of Michigan. So that's going to be exciting days in Ann Arbor. But I'm going to move on before I start being biased. Pac-12. This is not even close.
No, Pac-12 is unanimous. If you're not picking this team, you need to start picking this team because they are here. They are back. Unlike Texas, this team is actually back. It's the UCLA Bruins. Johnny Juzang, he's leading them on another run. Just be ready for it.
Yeah, we were talking about this before, and I said Johnny Juzang is either going to be the biggest hero in UCLA history or the biggest one-hit wonder in UCLA history. But I agree. I think UCLA is going to steamroll the Pac-12.
Oh
I think
yeah, no.
UCLA may be more dominant over the Pac-12 than Duke and Michigan are over their respective conferences. I really do.
I could definitely see it.
I mean, the Pac-12 has been down a little bit the past couple of years, so
Johnny Juzang's player to watch. If Johnny Juzang is playing like he did in just last year's regular season, I don't think they get it done. But if he's playing like he did in the tournament, they'll be fine.
So the last one is the Big 12.
Yeah.
And now I want to say before I state my prediction, we said there were 4 or 5 teams in the SEC that could win. There were like 8 or 9 teams in the Big 12 that could win. Last year, I don't think you'll argue that the Big 10 was probably the best conference. Top to bottom. I think this year it's the Big 12. I really do.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
But my gut, as much as it disgusts me to have to say this, my gut is going with Kansas.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the Jayhawks, they get it done every year, and at some point Bill Self is gonna have to retire, so
Maybe.
I think it's definitely coming up soon. And I just this team's too good. They returned 4 starters from last year's roster, and then they also bring in Remy Martin. Kansas, they're the best team in the Big 12 and could very well be the best in the country.
I agree with that. You know who's not going to be the best team in the country? You want to
Okay,
guess or you want me to say it?
go ahead, say it.
Gonzaga. Gonzaga's not, they weren't the best team in the country last year or the year before. They're not going to be the best team
Well,
in the country this year.
they were the best team in the country, and then they met Baylor.
Baylor was heads above them. I think Baylor beats them 8 times out of 10 if they play.
Oh yeah, probably.
I think that's why the game got canceled last year.
Yeah, they shouldn't have canceled it.
Got to preserve that undefeated streak.
Guess so.
I look at their schedule. Gonzaga plays Duke and UCLA in the first like 3 weeks.
Okay, well, I can look forward to that Duke matchup because Kentucky opens the season with Duke. So, I mean, if we beat Duke by 10 or whatever and Gonzaga loses by 3, there we go. We're better than 2 teams in the country already.
There you go. The last time that Duke and Kentucky and Duke and Gonzaga played each other in the regular season was the year that Zion Williamson was at Duke. Duke won both of those games. No, Gonzaga beat them, didn't they? They beat them in Maui.
Yeah, beat them in Maui. Yep.
Now I know that Duke team was one of your favorites of all time.
Oh yeah, I just loved staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching my team get beat by 30.
I remember you texted me and you said to me, if Kentucky plays Duke again, Kentucky will win.
Oh, they would have. That
And
should have
I
been a
said, no,
national
if
championship
Kentucky and
game.
Duke played again, the same exact thing would happen.
That should have been a national championship game. We were probably the hottest team in college basketball going into that tournament. And we played Auburn, and I knew that was the end. After what Auburn did to Tennessee in the SEC championship game, I knew it was over. I mean, they came out and they steamrolled us that second half.
I'll tell you, it was that was a really exciting tournament. I think that was probably that 2019 tournament was really good.
Oh yeah.
So what else you got? You got anything you want to talk about? I got a couple things here on my list.
Okay, well, next thing I just wanna kind of go through. We always talk about who's gonna win national championship, who's gonna be. I just want to go through the betting odds of favorites to win national championship. I got the top 10 here, and then the couple blue bloods that didn't make it in the top 10. So, obviously at first, I'm not too surprised. Gonzaga. No surprise.
Okay, hang on. Ah, man. Why? I mean, because, gosh. I mean, we just named 3 teams, one, two, four teams really that I'm going to take over Gonzaga. Michigan, UCLA, Duke, Kansas. I'm taking all 4 of those teams over Gonzaga. I mean, Gonzaga has proven over and over again that they don't play the level of competition in months January to March to be able to make that. Well, I mean, they made a run to the Final Four, but still, I don't know. Move on. Number 2.
You got to think the betting odds. That's just the favorite after last season. I don't think they'll get it done, but that's the favorite.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so number 2, I have Florida State. I had no surprise. ACC, they're a good team. They've returned starters. They've got the depth. I think they'll be fine. And then number 3, no surprise. It's Michigan. I
Really?
mean, I'm not surprised. They they know their basketball. Yeah. Number 4, they got Ohio State. I mean, battle for the Big Ten. I could see it. I don't think both teams make it that far to
No.
the Final Four or Elite Eight, but one of them definitely will. 5, Villanova. I think they sweep through their conference in the
Yeah,
Big
Villanova's
East,
gonna be
no
tough this year.
problems. As long as Colin Gillespie stays healthy, they should be fine. 6, Baylor. I mean, how can you not look at the Baylor Bears after what they did last year? You can't. I mean, they went and steamrolled the undefeated team in the national championship.
The
You
only
gotta
thing
look at
is
them.
the only thing is Baylor lost a lot.
They did, but
They brought quite a bit back, but they lost a lot.
yeah, you gotta look at one of those kind of rebuilding situations. They're gonna be looked on highly because of what they did last year, but it doesn't necessarily mean they'll do anything. So at 7, Kansas, no surprise. I think they have no issues, obviously, in the Big 12. They'll get through that. They'll get through the tournament. I think they'll go make a deep run in the tournament this year. Not
Yeah,
completely sure about national championship for them though.
I think they're gonna make a deep run. I think they got embarrassed by USC last year. They brought everybody from that team back, dude. You smile, but goodness gracious, that was terrible. Um,
Well, I mean, they returned 4 starters, which is obviously big because I mean that's veteran players coming back that have already gone through that, so they know what to expect. And then you add another veteran and a super senior and Remy Martin. That team's dangerous. I mean, it really is. It's something to watch. I really think so. Number 8, Duke. No surprise, Coach K, retiring after this year. I could see him making a run. But does Coach K have enough left to win a title?
I think he definitely does, and I think last year there was a lot of shade thrown on Coach K, and everybody that doesn't like Duke loves it when Duke loses, and that's part of
Oh
college
yeah,
basketball
yeah.
and things like that. But I think there was a lot of unnecessary shade thrown on Coach K. Coach K did not have a whole lot of just overwhelming talent. I mean, you go from
Oh no,
your
yeah,
top,
no.
you have 3 players picked in the top 10 of the NBA draft to you have Jalen Johnson who walks out in the middle of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it'll definitely be. Uh, I'm hoping for his case, retire whatever. It's not as bad as a roller coaster. What season he had last year? So at 9, Houston. I mean, I could see it. Yeah, the veterans, but I don't know. I feel like Houston's one of those teams, you talk about them and say they're gonna do this, but I feel like Houston's gonna be that team that kind of underperforms this year.
I could see that. I think Houston's also given a lot of leeway just because of the conference they're in and
Yeah,
things like that. Is that was number 9? You said
yeah. Plus 2,500. So 10, last but not least, Illinois. That's 3 Big Ten teams and top 10 for national championship. And I mean, I think Big Ten, anyone can definitely win it. It's like the SEC, Big 12, but I, d- I don't know. I really think out of the Big Ten teams, Michigan decides its own fate. Uh, you have to win those games you're supposed to win, and you have to play good in those close games that you also need to win.
right. I mean, last year Michigan took 10 teams to the NCAA tournament, and one of them made it out of the Sweet 16. So,
Yeah,
did I say Michigan? Because I meant the
yeah, you
Big
did.
Ten.
Yeah.
The Big Ten took 10 teams. I was writing Michigan down on my paper, is why. The Big Ten took 10 teams to the NCAA tournament. And like I said, only one of them made it past the Sweet 16. So it's one of those things that you never know, because I honestly, there were people that were predicting an all Big Ten Final Four last year.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. It didn't even come close to happening.
Oh God, no.
Michigan was the closest on a last second miss versus UCLA, that UCLA team that was good.
Very good.
But I don't know. I think it could be a Big Ten team. I think it could be Michigan. I think it could be Ohio State. I think it could be Purdue. And I think really and truly, and you're going to laugh me off of this podcast if I say this, a team that can make a deep run. They brought everybody back. They were not bad last year and everything. Plus they added a couple really solid transfers. Rutgers.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I could definitely see it.
The only thing that's going to go against them is they lost Miles Johnson to guess where? UCLA.
And it'll be interesting to watch.
Now I will say about Miles Johnson, because I've read a lot and watched a lot on him. Whenever Miles Johnson made the decision to transfer, that was based on mostly academics.
Yeah.
Which is nice. That's nice to see, that there are people that are preparing kids for life after basketball, regardless, whether you have a 10-year career in the NBA, a 20-year career, or you don't play in the NBA.
Yeah.
So that's a little refreshing to see.
Okay, well, that was the top 10. As you can see, there are still 3 blue bloods that were not in that top 10. Sitting 2 of the blue bloods sit right outside the top 10. Kentucky and UCLA both having a 2,500 plus betting odds. UCLA, I obviously see as the better favorite to come back and actually
Why
get to
was
the national
UCLA left
championship
off
and
that
win.
list?
Who knows? Who knows? People just aren't respecting the Bruins, I guess.
People
I mean,
suck.
I think
People suck, that's
UCLA
why.
is a really good team this year, and I think Johnny Juzang leads them to that national title.
I don't know about national title,
No, I think he does.
but UCLA is going to be good.
And then you got Kentucky, who brought in 4 transfers, brought in 2 5-star recruits and a 4-star recruit, 7 new players to the roster. They brought back Keon Brooks, Davion Mentz, Jacob Toppin. It's going to be a good team, but
Keon Brooks,
I don't think it's a national title team.
Was a 5-star recruit that is a junior now,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen a
Kentucky,
lot.
except for Nick Richards. He was 4 years, I think. So last blue blood sitting way down the list is North Carolina at plus 4,500.
I'm telling you, North Carolina, I just don't see it. I don't feel it.
I
don't know Hubert
I can-
Davis. I haven't read a lot about him, but I know that North Carolina hasn't really been that great in 2 years, 3 years maybe. So
Oh yeah, they had that bad year and they still haven't come back from that bad year.
right, they had that really, really bad year, the same year that the tournament didn't even happen.
Yeah.
And I remember laughing at a video that Cole Anthony posted saying that they were the scariest bottom seed ever. And then they got absolutely obliterated by Georgia Tech like 2 hours later.
Just being too cocky. That's all they're doing.
Being too cocky, and there's no reason to be cocky at all, because
No, definitely
bro,
when
you
you're
won like
losing
4
that
games
bad.
that year.
So
Do you have a national player of the year favorite?
I do. And I pretty much expect yours to be exactly the same.
Johnny
Juzang. Yep. It's obvious. I mean,
Now, Johnny Juzang is going to do one of 2 things. He's going to make everybody look like they were a genius before the season, or he's going to make everybody look really, really dumb,
yeah. He
including
if-
himself.
if he plays like he did in the regular season, he was still good, but he won't be in the conversation for National Player of the Year. And not only that, UCLA won't be in the conversation for the tournament, national championship, nothing, or even their conference.
Something
If
to
he
remember,
plays,
UCLA gets Chris Smith back,
yeah,
who
yeah.
was their
If
best player before he went down.
it's got to be John Juicing. You have to be the best player on that team if you want to make a run in the tournament,
I agree.
and we've seen that already.
So there is one thing I want to talk about
Okay,
that I've been begging to get your opinion on. I wanted to wait till we got on here and did it just so that I could make you go public with it.
uh,
Chris
yeah.
Beard
Yep,
goes from Texas Tech to Texas.
yeah.
Okay, first of all, the reception when he goes back to Lubbock, if they don't throw trash at him, I'm going to be surprised.
Oh, I fully expect it to happen.
Man, that's just, oh man, that's like almost like going to Duke to Carolina or Kentucky to Louisville, and that has happened before.
You just can't do it.
So how do you like? And I know that Rick Pitino coaching at Kentucky was before your time,
Well, I mean, I still know of it. Whatever. I
but
didn't have an issue with him. I would take him back still if, it was obviously all the other stuff just didn't happen. But Chris Beard going to Texas, I don't understand it. I really don't. Why do you leave Texas Tech, the place you've been going and doing such good things here before you in national championship playing Virginia and almost win that game, could have won that game. I mean, you went 2 quarters not scoring in the first 8 minutes and still you're right in that game and you force overtime. How do you leave that? I mean, you built a program in Lubbock, Texas, and you leave for
money,
Texas.
money, and brand name.
That's
I
exactly
mean,
what it
think
was.
about the Longhorns. I mean, you can go just about anywhere in the country, and you walk into a sports store, and they're going to have some kind of Longhorn stuff. So,
Yeah,
and Texas basketball has a little bit of history. I mean, they had Kevin Durant, and yeah, that's about the only relevant one.
yeah, a little bit. Oh, and they had Greg Brown, who was
Yeah.
this superstar athlete. Where is he at now?
So I guess, I mean, that's a big deal. That's if you think about it.
It really is.
All right. So
Yeah, I got
I'm
one
gonna,
more section here.
you got one more. Oh, you got
I got
players to
one
watch,
more.
but I got
No, I got records to watch, but
records to watch. And then we're going to kind of, after that, if it's okay, we're going to kind of shift away from college basketball and kind of get back on the podcast as far as the details of that.
okay. So I got 4 here, and you can't get mad at me for what 2 of them are about.
Okay.
Because they're the big things to watch. Okay. So
Okay.
first one I'm gonna look at is consecutive 25-win seasons. The record is held by Kansas from 2006 to 2020. I mean, 15-year stretch. They've won 25 plus games. Gonzaga has been right there with them, dating back all the way to 2008. This season, they have a chance to break that with 25 wins. You got to remember they've gone over 31 the past 5 years. They brought back Drew Timme. They added, 3 insane freshmen and Hunter Salix, Nolan Hickman, and Chet Holmgren. God, that name
Holmgren.
is, yeah. I really expect Gonzaga to win 25 games and tie this record.
Oh yeah.
No problem. I think that's the most. It's one of the most likely ones to see tied and broke come next year. But don't worry, I got another one that's just like it. So consecutive 20-win seasons is a 31-year record. No surprise, I don't think. It's held by 1971 to 2001, North Carolina. A good stretch of basketball. And then Kansas is also right there with them, holding it from 1990 to 2021. So, Kansas, they ended last season 21-9. They were 2 losses away from losing that and not being able to tie it. Obviously, we talked about how they returned 4 starters. They get Remy Martin. They're going to win 20 games.
Oh yeah, easily.
No doubt. So this next one, you gotta bear with me because it's very hard that it does happen, but very hard that it doesn't. And it's most improved team. The record is held by Towson, and they went from going 1-31 in 2012 to going 18-13 in 2013. That's a 7.5 win stretch right there. Kentucky coming off their first losing season since 89. 89, and their fewest wins since 1927. They
Holy
played
smokes.
16 games in 1927. And we played 30 something this year. So you have to watch that. Their win percentage was .360 in program history that ranks 110th out of 118th. They had 7 new players, obviously 4 freshmen, or 3 freshmen, 4 transfers. All they have to do is win 27 games, and they break that record. So
All they have to do.
that's all they have to do is win 27 games. I mean, that's 31 games in the regular season. 31 games the regular season, then you have to add conference tournament and the regular tournament.
Maybe
It's possible. It's definitely possible. If it happens, whatever. If it doesn't, whatever. But the biggest one right now in college basketball, and I think more people are kind of paying attention to it than people think, and that's all-time wins. This record is really close right now. The record's held by Kentucky, 2,327. Kansas, 4 games behind with 2,323. All Kansas has to do is win 5 more games than a Kentucky team that's coming off a bleeding season. So
yeah,
it's a big time to watch.
That's
And
big possible.
Well, yeah, if they do it, there you go. You have a new winningest program in college basketball in the win column.
I think it's different too. It can't be understated as well that win record in like college basketball is a lot different than the win record in college football.
Oh no, yeah.
Because it's so much well, you don't play as many games for one, and you only play once a week in football.
Yeah.
So like Michigan, who has been horrible the past really 3 or 4 years, still holds that record by like well over 100 games.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like they've been really bad.
It's well,
and Alabama and Clemson and both went undefeated in those times that Michigan's lost like 7 games.
Yeah.
So, but we're not a football podcast.
Nope.
So, kind of transitioning here as we're going to kind of close the door on this week's. We're going to talk about the podcast a little bit here at the end. It's going to be once a week. We are going to strive for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, 30 minutes to an hour once a week. Off season, right before it might not be quite once a week because you run out of content right before the season. Obviously preseason top 25 comes out soon, and obviously that first week is coming up here in a couple weeks. You have all the Midnight Madnesses or whatever other teams call them coming here soon. So we're coming in on a good stretch before.
Michigan doesn't have one of those.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, how can you not? It's a hype up before the season.
They don't have one.
Well, Kentucky does, and they sold out within 40 minutes. So I don't worry. I will bring live video to the podcast in
Are you going?
2.5 weeks of my Big Blue Madness
Are you going?
experience. Yep,
You ever been before?
obvious. Yeah.
I'll be at the Michigan Tarleton State game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Gotta-
we should
gotta
do
get-
like a podcast from Ann Arbor or something.
Huh.
And I can see if I can like con Jawan Howard into coming on or something.
Yeah, good luck with that. I
It's
mean,
not gonna happen.
well, we can bring footage back from games or whatever we go to. Not that we'll be going to a lot, but
So we're gonna aim for Wednesdays, correct?
yeah, except for that first week of the season, it'll be on a Monday because the games start Tuesday.
I agree. It coming to you on a Friday. We both had some things come up Friday. Couldn't get on, so we're gonna get this uploaded here as soon as we're done. It'll be on YouTube as soon as I can figure out how to pull the audio without messing up anything. I'll take it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, things like that, just so that there is an outlet. And then, or just so there's multiple outlets. You can't really watch a YouTube video if you're riding in the car. So, and another thing, guys, I'm working on some better equipment for my setup. I'm working on, instead of using this crappy old face cam, I'm going to try to set my iPad up with some like OBS or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I will definitely figure out something with my camera.
And I mean, that's all I got. Oh, I'm going to shameless plug myself. I have another YouTube channel that I do video games on. If I can figure out how to make it work, I am going to be doing a stream fantasy draft on MLB The Show 21 and starting up a Cardinals rebuild franchise after that atrocious walk-off home run by Chris Taylor. I'm firing Mike Schilt. And I don't know who we're bringing back, if anybody. So, that's all I've got. You got anything, bud?
No, I can't say the Dodgers suck though.
I can
say the Dodgers suck. Though.
Yeah, I hate the Dodgers.
It's okay. You can bleed in the pain of not making the playoffs with me.
Hey, we made the playoffs. We just didn't do anything.
The wild card doesn't count.
We just didn't do anything.
Yeah, see.
But that'll be it for us. Join us back here next week, Wednesday. And we'll have it ready for you to go. Maybe we'll have a preseason poll or something. But guys, that's all I've got for you. So for Mr. Michael Johnson here and Austin Bradley, that's all we're going to do today. So we'll see y'all later.